The first thing to do is determine your personal year number. If you haven't already, watch the video that I posted about how to calculate your personal year number, and then you can choose which number to watch from these videos. So is your personal year number the 6? The 6 means structure, function, and order. And we're in the universal year of the 4, which is stability. Now the 6 is, I'm going to just visually represent the 6 for you, okay? In a number of ways. The 6 is this. The 6 is this. The 6. Nope, 6, not that. 6 is this. Which I will make for you geometrically down here. But I'm just trying to give you a see as above, so below. Pyramid, the balanced order of the pyramid. All the shapes that can be created within the hexagon. Beehives are made in the shape of hexagons. I'm kind of failing the bees at this point, but you understand what I mean. It's this idea of order, structure, it's success. In the tarot, it's a little success. It's like you've made it past the 5, which is the regeneration stage, and now things are really ticking along. You have a certain level of achievement. You have valor. You have maybe attained some wealth. You have it's what I'm trying to say is that it's things are moving forward now. You're having success. Things are going well. This is a year of things going well in a universal energy of stability, and that bodes very well for you to prosper. I guess that's what it is you focus on your structure, things that are working, having things in order and progressing. Enjoy this year. This is a year that you get to enjoy. And because we're doing this sacred geometry flavored reading here, or, how do you say, I don't know, not reading, explanation of the year energy and why the numerology is what it is. I'm just going to make for you a hexagon out of the geometry, just so you can see it in action. Now, what's kind of crazy about this, and it would take me far too long to do, is to show you how this is actually created using the 6s, because you know what I'll do? I'll paste in a picture and show you how you would get to the 6 using actual 6 circles to get to this. But what you'd have to do is you have to start with the circles I'm drawing, and you have to build like the flower of life and see the 6 circles from within it. I know, I'm probably not making sense to you, but take my word for it. It's time consuming to get there, so I'm taking some shortcuts based on the points here, where there would be circles for everything I'm talking about. There would be 6 circles that creates this structure if we're within the flower of life. Oops. So with the 6, what you have is a ton of symmetry. To make this shape, we have we have the two equal parts on either side, absolute symmetry, see? Equal circles, and then an equal circle, a circle equal to those in the center that is exactly the radius, exactly the radius, and fits perfectly in here, and the hexagon fits perfectly in there. There's everything is symmetry. There's exactly half the distance here, half the distance here, and you can make all of the just so much balanced geometry inside the 6. Just basically connecting all the points, you end up with you see how, as we continue, you go back and look at the 1 through 4, you see how simple the geometry is. And once you get to the 5 and above, how complex the geometry is. It's like, in fact, in sacred geometry, the numbers don't even start, I think, until number 4. The 1, 2, and 3 are actually just creation energies. Numbers really start at 4, because then you can start to really make a lot of geometry. And so you see how things are getting more and more complex. But at the 6, they're not chaotic like at the 5. The 5, you have to do a lot of gymnastics to get to the pentagon, but a lot can be created from the pentagon. At the 6, there's a lot of balance. There's a lot of symmetry. There's a lot of order. There's a lot of function. You can do a lot of really interesting and balanced things with the 6 energy, and that's where you are this year. Fortunately, you are in this place of being able to, you're just having a good time, okay? And so then your challenge through the year will be to create as much as you can and really blossom and create this wonderful, enjoy this prosperous time of really having things figured out, of experiencing your valor and your glory and your success, but preparing, because the next number to follow for you would be the 7. And at the 7, that is when you need to be willing to burst it all apart again. If you're starting to get the rhythm of this, it goes from, chaos to order, chaos to order, chaos to order. That's how the numbers work. And so after you experience this stability, this time of really functioning well this year, but okay, now let's just stop there for a moment. You're functioning well and you have order, but you understand that if you're not quite at a place where you're feeling that, it could be that you're stuck in a phase where you haven't figured out what you're making yet. Because if you're coming off of the 5, you're coming off of the energy of making something new, and it's like birthing something. And when you're freshly creating something, you're not exactly sure how that's going to turn out. So now is the time to look back on all the things that you did last year and realize that this is the new normal. Okay, you have the new normal and it's working. The new normal is working for you. So what is the new normal? Make a system for this, because it's going to feel crazy. I mean, look at all this going on in here, and there's so much more. We could line this up in every possible direction. We can make everything out of this. We can make so much out of this, and it can feel chaotic if you just glance at it and you're like, oh God, what's happening? So figure out what is your new normal. Make it work for you really well, because in the year to come, you're going to have to make more choices that are going to take this structure apart, and it's going to feel more chaotic. So really get down, what have you made? What is this system? What is working? Find the order. And you're supported by the universal year number, which is stability. So you're going to have the breathing space to be able to do this without a whole bunch of chaos being thrown at you. You're in a supportive environment to figure out your new normal and make it work. Make it work really well, so that when it comes time for the 7 to blow this apart and so that you can have more growth, you have mastered the lessons of this year. You've mastered all of the things that you've created, and you become expert at it. And you're going to enjoy a little bit of recognition for what you've created as well. So enjoy that. So my friend, I just wanted to thank you for watching and show you some of this art that I've been making, because it is so, it is sacred geometry, this art that I make. I started making this kind of art partly because of my passion for sacred geometry, because it's this style of art where it's basically mandala making, which is a geometric practice. You start with the eye of God at the center, and you build, this is beeswax and pine pitch pressed into, and then you take tiny glass beads and press it into the beeswax pine pitch mixture. This is on a capiz shell, and this is a necklace or just a kind of a mandala ornament. And it's using the geometry of moving out from the 1 to the 6, and spreading from there. It exponentially grows, and the pattern becomes more complex the further out you go from the middle, just like how we did in our geometry today, where the 1 is a relatively simple concept. These are earrings, and the further away from 1 you get, the more complex the geometry is. See, and then you get into big items like this. Like you could just look at this. Oh, here's me in the mirror. You could just look at the center of one of these, and it's a reasonably simple image, but when you start to grow, when you take that as the center and you start to grow the pattern out, you see how it just becomes more and more. Take the center of one of these motifs, for example, and the further away you get from the center, the more complex it is. And that's how we are as people, right? The more interesting we are, the more we evolve as humans from just eaters into thinking and spiritual beings, the more complex the pattern is out from the center. And this one is actually already sold, but I'm going to be making much more of these. And all these things are in my Etsy shop and more. And I have sold a lot over Christmas time, so the store is a little bit skimpy right now, but you can get to it through angelinetarot.com or through just directly to Etsy, etsy.com/shop/Eye of God Art. So thank you for watching that little commercial. I hope you enjoyed my little numerology for you for the coming year through the sacred geometry. Yes, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful 2020. Why am I trying to just show everything? I don't know. I'm a cornball. Yep. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful 2020. Happy New Year.